welcome to the Contractor AI Summit. Today, we have a very special guest joining us, Joe Papa. Joe is an expert in integrating voice AI technology into the home improvement business. In his presentation, he'll be sharing valuable insights on how voice AI agents can revolutionize the way contractors operate, from managing projects to improving customer service. Stay tuned to learn how you can leverage this cutting-edge technology to take your home improvement business to the next level. Let's give a warm welcome to Joe Papa.
I'm here, brother.
What was your biggest takeaway from your site audit?
Well, first, I gotta admit, I was a little scared. I'm like, this is gonna rip me apart here because right from the beginning, I was like, man, we got a lot of work to do. So the extreme value. I mean, the big takeaway I got was, the experience part is being able to share the real stuff that we do day-to-day basis and highlight that in as many ways as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got quite a presentation ready for us today. What is it that you're going to talk about, and what can people expect here?
Yeah, so I mean, AI is fascinating. We could talk about a lot of things, but I thought we'd talk about something that was a little different and more cutting edge. So today we're going to talk about AI voice agents and assistants. It's incredible what we're seeing so far. Super excited.
Awesome. Can you just introduce yourself, man? I mean, if I was to go to your LinkedIn bio and profile, I'll probably spend 2 minutes just introducing you here. For those of you that are just logging in, welcome aboard. Welcome to the Contractor AI Summit. We just wrapped up here with Dennis Yu's presentation. He's an expert search engine engineer. He really knows his stuff. Make sure you connect with him on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. He's always posting about his travels. So we just wrapped that up. And right now we're going to switch gears here and talk about more of the integration of what is working for home improvement and home service companies. That being said, we have Mr. Joe Papa. He's another engineer, an AI engineer, software engineer, developer. You've worked with the government. You've worked with enterprise franchises throughout the country here. You want to just give us a quick rundown here. You're also an author and public speaker, Joe, for those that don't know who you are.
Sure. So Joe Papa, I'm the CEO and founder of TrueVersity. And also I have another company called Mobile Insights. So we sit in two spaces. So at TrueVersity, we are focused on helping small businesses scale and exit using AI technology innovation. And we also do develop the technology ourselves, mainly for the Department of Defense intelligence community. My background's in engineering, started back in the 90s, back when cell phones didn't even exist. Ironically enough, we just got new offices here in Bell Works, New Jersey. So I'm a little like weirded out by this white background because I feel like I need stuff behind me. But ironically, I worked here at Bell Labs about, back in the 90s, developing some of the technology that was used in the phone systems, namely the cellular phone systems. And what's interesting is that right across the building was a team of engineers led by Jan LeCun. And if you don't know who Jan LeCun is, he runs all of AI at Facebook Meta. He's one of the most prominent AI researchers in the world. And I had the pleasure of working in the same building with him and his team. And just, so technology is my thing. I mean, I'm also, at some point in my career, I realized technology was cool, but I wanted a better life. So I decided to open a business back in the early 2000s. And as an electrical engineer, what better business to open than a tanning salon? So I was a tanning salon owner back then, and that was really, really interesting and different. I wound up becoming an area developer. It was the largest tanning franchise in the world at the time. I became an area developer. We opened 13 locations in less than 3 years in the industry back then. So that's where I cut my teeth on the business side of things, especially with small businesses. So for you folks that are working in the contractor industry, I get it. I know what it's like to bust your ass get out there every day, you know, you know, try to win customers and keep up with that local business mentality. So currently own two businesses, 30 plus years working in AI technology and innovation. And really my goal here today is to bring awareness as to where we are in the space right now. Just to give you an idea, like research and development, that field is the crystal ball, right? And it used to be maybe 3 to 5 years we can see what was going to come out in the marketplace because it was being developed in the R&D space. Now that cycle is dramatically reduced. It used to be like 1 or 2 years. Now we're seeing like 6-month cycles. So what's being developed at cutting edge research institutions, companies, that's coming to market within 6 months. And it's just incredible. But also it's hard for people that are, you know, trying to build the business day to day to become familiar with what's going on and see the opportunities that you could take advantage of in your business. Because, I mean, all of you here probably have, you know, dealt with ChatGPT. You're familiar at some level with AI. This is technology that was available to large companies. You know, billions and billions of dollars was invested to create this stuff, and now it's available to you at low or no cost. So today I'm going to share one of the most exciting areas in AI today, and what I strongly believe is going to be the biggest needle mover for contractors, specifically in that market. So before I get started, I just want to kind of like get a pulse on the audience here, if you will. Just give me an idea, like, how familiar you are with AI on a scale of 1 to 10, and how much are you using in your business? So like 8 to 10 would be like, I mean, you're a master of AI. Everybody in your company is using it. You use it every day. Everything is automated, dialed in. 5 to 8, maybe you're implementing some things. You know, you're using ChatGPT. Maybe you're using some automation. And like 0 to 5 would be you're just getting started. So, okay, cool. Chris, we got an 8, Peter 7, Joe 1. Thanks for being honest and humble. Listen, man, everybody starts at some point. The whole idea is today I want to get you to that next level, ultimately being at a 10, right? And at Truversity, our primary function is really education. And the big push that we're going forward with is being able to teach people how to use AI and work with AI to supercharge themselves. And this is going to be one way that you and your team can do it. It's funny, Danny, I was just on a Tony Robbins webinar earlier today, watching Wealth Mastery, and Ray Dalio comes on. So if you're familiar with Ray Dalio, type Ray in the comments there. I mean, brilliant, you know, managed multi-billion dollar hedge fund, one of the top financial, you know, people in the world. And he was talking about the economies and kind of where we are. But there was really 3 factors that drive the economy. And the one factor that he mentioned on the webinar was productivity, right? So if you want to increase your income, either as an individual or as a company in a down economy, especially like the one we're in now, the only way to do it is to become more productive. You have to produce more with less. You have to produce more with less resources, less time, less money. You have to figure out a way to innovate in order to do that. And that's the mindset that we want you and your entire team to start thinking about, right? Think about innovation. How could we do this better? How can we do this different? That's a question we ask every single day in our teams and meetings, no matter what we're doing. If it's a webinar, if it's building these things out for clients, what can we do different? What can we do better?
Yeah, and to chime in here, Joe, one of the key things here, it's when we're speaking with clients and empowering them to embrace the technology, it's like, hey, or maybe it's not even the business owner, but the employees, the fear of like, oh, my job is at stake, or like voice AI, that means I'm answering the phones, I'm not going to have a job. Like, that's not what we're talking about. It's simply amplifying the productivity and production and output by leveraging the technology. Can you speak a little bit more to that in the fear that you might have heard here with business owners and employees? Hey there, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you're finding it helpful. We're putting a lot of effort to bring you more content just like this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you know of anyone that might find this helpful, share the love. Hit that share button, send them a text message or send them a Facebook message or share it to a Facebook group. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And the first conversation you should be having when this topic comes up in team meetings is, look, I'm not trying to replace anybody, but with AI, is we're actually trying to make your job better and give you time to do things that you enjoy most. You know, and I'll give a little story about one of the clients we're working with, who's a plumbing company. And we went into on location and sat with this team. He's doing probably close to 15 million a year. He's got an office staff of about, probably about between 5 and 10 people, in addition to many people out in the field. But the field technicians would call in and do this closeout call with the dispatchers before they move on to the next the next job. And they're like, sometimes they're in a bad mood, and the dispatcher's like, hey man, I just need to get this information, like I'm doing my job. And there's this frustration in working with people. So if we could figure out a way that we could collect information from the jobs and give technicians the okay to go to the next job, and do that in such a way that's easy, puts the information in a format and a system where it needs to go, then it just eliminates a lot of hassles. So the dispatcher's like, man, if you can figure this out, I would love this, because it's just a big frustration in my job. Like I go home, I get off the call and I'm just like pissed off. Like I want to punch somebody in the face. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I get that. Like I've been on the receiving ends of somebody in a tanning bed that's like, man, I got burned. Like, and my employees are freaking out and everything. So I'm like, okay, I get that. So that's where we're going with it. It's let's focus people's job on the high touch human side of things, where you actually need a human to step in and build a relationship and rapport with somebody. And for the mundane stuff, for the stuff that doesn't require a connection, let's see if we can utilize AI to make that more efficient.
Boom, love it.
So I just want to ask people, like, where do most of your leads come from? If you could put that in the chat, like how do you get business? Like, where do they come from, right? Let's see what you have to say. Meta, okay. Facebook. Okay, cool. Word of mouth, social media. Okay, good. SEO, socials, Insta. Great, James. Nice. Facebook, Yelp. Okay. So that's the source where they're coming from. Now, how do they initially contact you? Is it via phone? Is it via Facebook Messenger? Is it via SMS, a form on your website? How do they initially contact you? Landing page, okay. Form on Facebook. Awesome. Everything. Form, text, comments, calls, killed. No, thank you for that. Yeah, so they're coming in from all different avenues in today's world. The phone, Google listing, Facebook, awesome. So the idea here is that when a person is interested in your service and your opportunity, is you want to be able to be there to handle that, right? And so let's just talk about phone for now. Okay, now there's many ways where we can integrate with other applications like Facebook Messenger, website chat. If somebody fills out a form, right? Do we want to send them a text message? Do we want to give them a call? We want to get back to them as quickly as possible. So let's talk about phones for a second. So when somebody calls you, who wants to guess the percentage that if you don't answer the phone, they won't call back? Right? How many percentage statistically via studies, if somebody calls you and you don't answer the phone, what, 75%, 99% will not, 75%? 80, good. You guys are on mark here. It's about 85%, according to studies, will not call you back. Less than 3%, less than 3% of people will leave messages. So if you are not answering those calls when they call, right, there goes 85% of your business, right? So even after hours, if you're not answering those calls, if they have to go to voicemail, you're missing that. If you call them back, basically if you call them back within 5 minutes, you only lose about 5%. Okay, 30 minutes goes by, 80%'s gone. You're pretty much done. Like if somebody reaches out to you and you have not made contact with them within 30 minutes, you're done. Like you're losing. So think about hiring, Contractor Click and Danny's team and investing in the money, investing in your ads, investing in your marketing. And if you're not able to have a conversation with somebody when they call, that's just money going out the window, right? They're doing their job and your marketing's doing its job. You're getting people to contact you. That's going out the window. So today I'm going to show you a couple of newer technologies that we're piloting right now that can help you get in a conversation with your potential customers and assist you on closing those deals and moving them forward up the chain. Now I'll bring up another topic. Let's say you get them on the phone, you're talking to them, your staff is talking, you have a receptionist or customer service rep, you're talking to them. Eventually they go out, you go out to the job and you get an estimate. Let's talk about estimate follow-up. Scale of 1 to 10. Who thinks they do estimate follow-up amazingly? Like scale of 10, man, I follow up with every single estimate. Next day, within 3 days, basically until they tell me to stop bothering them. I follow up, a 10 would be I follow up with voice, email, text messaging, every way to get to them, constantly follow up with that, right? Key. If you go out and give an estimate to somebody, one day goes by, they're calling somebody else, right? They're calling somebody else. They need to get this project fixed or whatever they're doing, home remodel, work on their house, new coating on their garage, whatever that is. If they are not happy with what you gave them, they're going to talk to somebody else to at least get another quote, right, to compare you to. So how can we do that more effectively and more efficiently to increase the productivity? Right? What if you had an assistant that on day one, they instantly know your business, everything about your business. They know your standard operating procedures. They know your SOPs, the way you answer the phone, what you're supposed to ask them, the information you're supposed to collect, how you move them into the next phase, whether you transfer to somebody, schedule an appointment, follows your SOPs to the T every single time. 24/7, 365, they're on, right? They don't need to take a break. They can handle any amount of demand, right? You get 1,000 calls in a day, they can handle that, right? You get 5 calls coming at once, they can handle that. They can access your systems in real time, right? So now if they need to make an appointment and you need to put that into your calendar, or if they're gonna need to access some information about a job, for example, they can access that instantly in real time. They remember things about your customers, all 1,000 of them, right? They could speak multiple languages. How about if you had somebody that could do that, right? Does anybody work in areas where there's a huge market in English as a second language? Right? Do you have people that can speak other languages, Spanish, right? The market for Latino market is huge, right? Makes people feel good, right? It's always a good conversation. They're always happy that you called. They're always excited. And this assistant costs 80% less than an employee. There's no FICA taxes, there's no vacation, there's no fringe benefits. This person or this assistant, virtual assistant, frees up your team for something that's more high touch. The things where you actually have to make a human connection with somebody, build a rapport. All right. This is going to bring, what can this do for you if you had somebody that worked for this? So today I want to talk about AI voice assistants and voice agents. Yeah, Tim, thanks for sharing, man. Yeah, Spanish is increasing a lot. Was looking at AI solutions for this today, actually. Cool. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. And this is like, you know, I've seen the ads on Facebook and everywhere about, the guy that interviews the robots and AI avatars, and they're a little ridiculous and stuff. Look, like Danny said, we're not trying to replace anybody, but here's the thing. If we can get AI assistants and agents to do things that they can do, that frees up your other employees to do things that are more important. Okay. So let's talk about AI voice agents. I don't have a whole lot of slides, but I'm gonna do this. The best way is really just to show you things. Has anybody, before I get started, has anybody used an AI voice agent or assistant other than like Siri and Alexa and those, like an AI voice actually
Well,
called somewhere, get an AI
we're
place?
we're just getting started with Joe Papa here, and we're refining our intake process from the front end. And yesterday, funny enough, we were debating in our team meeting about, hey, do we have a live person on the phone, or are we ready to move into the AI? But it's very powerful. It's just a no-brainer to have that option versus just a robotic thing, right? Where now we have the voice agent, and this is something I'm working with you to be able to help us on the front end to have a conversation with the person on the other side about our territory availability, qualify the prospect, and do a whole bunch of things. So I'm excited that you're bringing this up because it's something that we're actively working on and in the process of experiencing ourselves.
Awesome, man. Yeah, it's exciting to be able to work with you and do this pilot with you. And if you're okay, do you want to share our working version with the audience now?
Your thing, man. Sure. You want me to just call it or what?
Uh, well, I think it is configured now to transfer to you. So I'm gonna see if it'll actually transfer the call to you. Want to test it out?
Go for it. Go
All
for
right,
it.
let me do the calling. So we're gonna call. This is something we're piloting right now with Danny and Contractor Click. We have a pilot going with a small number of clients here to test some of this technology out. So let's try it out. Hopefully you could hear it from my mic.
I got to turn off my do not disturb. Emily always tells me, hey, you always have the do not disturb on.
I'm just gonna call back one more time because
Put it on speaker. Yeah, yeah.
I guess. All right.
Thank you.
Oop, oop. I'll try one more time. Human error. Too many fingers here. Hold on. All right.
Thank you for calling Contractor Click, the digital marketing experts for contractors. This is Emily, your digital concierge. How may I assist you today?
Yeah, I just heard a talk by Dennis Yu, man, and I have to figure out my SEO.
Transferring the call now.
All right. So who do we have here? Who do we have?
All right, so I'm on the phone with you now. Is that you?
That's me right here. Awesome.
Perfect. So we transferred the call. Let's try it again and maybe ask it some additional questions here. We're running a new version, so I'm just curious about this.
Thank you for calling Contractor Click, the digital marketing experts for contractors. This is Emily, your digital concierge. How may I assist you today?
Yes, so I'd like to get some more information about your company.
Whom do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Hey, this is Joe.
Hi, Joe. It's great to speak with you. Are you an existing client, or are you looking for more information about how we can help with your digital marketing needs?
Oh, no, I'm not an existing client. I'm just looking for to talk to somebody.
We are here to help you solve your marketing challenges. Could you please tell me the name of your company?
Sure, it's Truversity.
Oh, fantastic. It sounds like you're with Contractor Click. I'm excited to learn more about your needs and how we can help. To make sure we provide the best assistance, could you please provide a brief overview of your business and what specific marketing challenges you are facing?
Yeah, so I just heard from Dennis Yu, and I gotta fix this SEO stuff, man.
Got it, Joe. We can definitely help you with your CO needs. Let's set up an appointment for a complimentary consultation with Danny, our expert in developing solid marketing strategies and plans. How does tomorrow at 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. sound for you?
Do you have anything later in the afternoon?
Absolutely, Joe. How about we schedule your complimentary consultation with Danny at 4 p.m. tomorrow? Would that work better for you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Great, Joe. Your appointment with Danny is scheduled for 4 p.m. tomorrow. To help us better understand your needs, could you please provide a brief overview of your business and what specific marketing challenges you are facing?
So I'm gonna end it there, but you get the point. Multifaceted, being able to set appointments, give information. Danny, what are your thoughts?
I'll ask Emily, the real Emily in charge. Emily, what's your feedback?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fantastic. Joe, thank you so much for that. I think as someone who does a lot of the culture and talks specifically to the team in regards to our customer service, how we're responding to clients, how we're speaking to clients, there is a fear, right? There's a natural aspect of fear with any business owner or operator of, is the lack of personal touch going to affect um, the client experience, right? On any type of business that you're running. But I think the reality is that what I loved about that is you're just gathering basic information. That's really all it is, right? So to your point, Joe, you're not replacing someone, you're not replacing the relational equity that you're building with a client, because at the end of the day, that relational equity comes once you're actually having those deep conversations, once you're getting to know them more. But you are providing the basic information and kind of vetting the call and even the prospect before you bring them in the door, which for us that's huge as well, right? Because we were just discussing yesterday, what does it look like for us to be intentional about our prospect calls and vetting who we want. And what's great about AI, as you've mentioned, is that it's fully customizable. So we have the opportunity to really work within all of that. Do I think she has as much charisma as maybe me? This Emily? Probably not, or Maddie or Danny or Lewis. But she's not replacing our account managers. She's not replacing the heart of who we are. She's just being an assistant and an add-on and bringing opportunity to us. So I love it. I love it. And I'm not necessarily an easy one to please. So you got my approval.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks
You have
for
it, Joe.
thanks for that.
There you have it. I think it's phenomenal. The whole thing is customer service, right? We want to serve our clients, and I'm telling you, we currently use an answering service, and with the amount of data that we're processing on a daily basis, it's they cannot keep up with our territories availability, and we've been dropping the ball significantly with some prospects because there's conflicting data, and that's hard for us, where what we could do is just feed it to the AI voice and now that can process territories and be able to qualify, have the conversation, and not get people pissed off that, hey, you didn't let me know that territory was not available. So from that respect, I am super excited. So I know Maddie's as well, but Emily, we got her approval. So there you go, Joe. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
full
Yeah,
disclosure.
let me just say, when we started talking about this, and you named it Emily, right? I didn't know about the real Emily, right? But my wife's name is actually Emily too.
Wow.
And I'm like testing this thing out, and she's like, "What are you creating?" Like, she thinks I'm like creating something named Emily. She's like, "What are you creating in there?" I'm like, "Honey, wait, I'm not replacing you with AI. This is for
There you
Danny."
go. You could, eventually you will. Yeah. Hey, Emily, can you go ahead and order groceries for me tonight? Make sure it's delivered by 7 p.m. Right. It's coming soon. It's about to be there. Yeah.
Whatever makes her happy, right? If I can free up the things that she does not like doing, that's the name of the game, right? But you guys bring up an awesome point. Like, so there's some magic behind this, and I know the technology is getting to, like, my opinion is the technology is finally getting to a place where it's usable, right? In the past, and you'll see this happen. Larger companies now, they're interactive voice response systems, like any company you call Geico, Bank of America, Apple, whatever it is, it's using decade-old technology. Like even the voice assistants in Siri's and Alexa, they're using technology that's over a decade old. This newer technology is all going to replace that, but it just takes them time to implement these systems at the scale that they're at. When you're a smaller company, you can roll this stuff out much faster now that it's available. So you'll get you do have an edge on the larger companies. So two things I want to point out about this is, number one, you mentioned scaling, right? So as you scale your business, now it scales, right? The system scales. Once you set it up and you dial it in and it's doing what you want it to do, you scale. You don't have to go and hire more people to answer phones, right? Now you could hire one person, an additional one person to do the high touch piece of it, right? You could hire another salesperson to handle building a rapport, building a relationship with the customer, like all the stuff that a human really needs to do. So the ability to scale is powerful. And the second thing, which no one is talking about right now, I know we got some folks on the call that I've seen here that I've talked to some of them about this voice technology already, is nobody's talking about analytics and experimentation. And what this technology gives you is the ability to experiment with different processes, different scripts, different procedures, A/B test things. So you can unlock something where it's like, yeah, if we just like, I'll give you an example in the plumbing industry. We're working on an appointment confirmation or an appointment setting capability for a plumber. So when they're setting an appointment, they want to give a window. I don't know if there's any contractors out there that can relate to this. Just type window in the chat, but they don't want to give an exact time, right? They want to give you like a 2 or 3 hour window because they just don't know when the techs are going to show up. So when the appointment setter, the AI appointment setter is actually setting the appointment, they'll say things like, "Oh, just want to make sure that you understand, your window is set for between 8 and 12 p.m." That means that the technician may not be out there till later, depending on whether they're running late or not. And it helps people set expectations. Now, here's a kicker, something we've been testing, is they also say, "Hey, look, John is going to be visiting your house between 8 and 12 tomorrow. Be sure to ask John about our discount program because you may qualify for some rebates." So now the customer's already thinking, holy cow, I better remember to ask John about that discount program. So there's all these little things that we can test, we can try, we can do it at scale, we measure the results, and we can improve the process as we go. It's a lot more difficult to do that when you have people answering the phone, and pull that off and be able to see the results. So
Yes.
Yeah. And Joe, I just wanted to mention what Tim had said in the chat is so true. Tim mentioned that one of the things you can't control about any type of answering service that a lot of these smaller businesses are using right now, if they don't have a specific receptionist that they've hired out, is the quality from rep to rep, depending on that answering service. So when you go back and you listen to those voicemails, it does differ, right? And so I think that having something that is consistent every single time and is never missing a question, is collecting all the data that needs to be collected up front at the end of the day is of great value, because at least you have a consistent brand across the board, especially when they're just getting in the door. Because I know that's something for us. In order to have the world class and the excellence that we are striving for, we have to have consistency. And that's very hard to do in our humanity, right? So there is an aspect of leveraging technology to make sure we have consistency across the board.
Awesome. Yeah, 100%. It's such a key factor with trust, right? Is when I used to work in the franchise industry, if somebody went into one store here in New Jersey, went to another store in Louisiana, they would want to expect the same level of service. It's like you walk into McDonald's, anywhere in the US, you go to one in China, you kind of expect like there to be some comfort there because you're used to that. So, yeah, good point. Excellent point. So any questions? Anybody have anything else?
I got a question for you. We talk about this entry point, CSR, admin assistant, receptionist service. There are way more use cases than just that specific pocket for voice AR, the voice agent. Could you speak a little bit more into the other capabilities? I believe it's almost like the tip of the iceberg. That's the front end, but the reality as far as applications and how deep this can get into a business, home improvement, home service contractor.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to share my screen at this point because there's a couple slides I kind of point out the different use cases for this, or different types of assistants we're building out now. Let me see here. Okay, so all right, everybody can you see that? All right, cool. All right, so we talked about the receptionist or the CSR. Right, that's this case, sort of use case for this type of assistant, and that's where you're answering general questions about the business. What are your hours, where are you located, that kind of stuff. Capture information, like Emily brought up. It's like you want to always get that information from the lead, right? Like when I was even back in the day when I was in the tanning industry, like we trained the staff to you always want to get a name, phone number, at least, so you can call them back. The ability to schedule appointments and route calls. So if it's a certain call that needs to go to a customer support representative, or Danny or Maddie or Emily, like it could be individual, it could be department related. All that is in the use case here. At the CSR level, you can actually build these things to attempt to resolve issues that come up. A dissatisfied customer, right? And the ability to display empathy is getting extremely successful in the technology, right? So these voices can feel very empathetic. Also the ability to detect emotion in somebody's voice gives an opportunity for a CSR application where it's like they complain about something. Hey, I'm sorry. I understand that could be tough. And as humans, it's difficult. Like we have our own emotions, and sometimes we answer the phone and we're really not in the mood to deal with an angry customer. So being able to remove that sizzle and then get you to somebody that's going to solve your problem diffuses that a little bit, so that when they are being transferred to a human, the human doesn't have to deal with somebody who's ready to tear their head off. It's like the AI's kind of settled them down a little bit before that call. So that's one use case. Another use case would be for the project manager or the GC. All right. So if you're a project manager, general contractor, and you need to answer specific questions about projects. Now this could be external and internal. So external example would be customer calls in, wants to get some updates, when is our tile going to arrive, or when are you going to start working on this, or something like that. The ability for assistants to do this is becoming successful. Now, let me point out one bit. We didn't cover the terminology here, but I'll use the term AI voice agents and AI voice assistants interchangeably. The way with either of them, the difference is they can have a human conversation, right? They could hear you, they can speak to you. But the added agent part of it, and you will hear this if you're not already, this is the next big wave of AI. It's called agentic, right? So we heard about predictive AI and then generative AI and chatbots and stuff like that. The next wave is agentic AI. And what that means is now this AI technology can plug into your systems, like setting appointments, your project management systems, retrieve information from it, and also update information in those systems as well. Now, not to freak any of you out, but they're also agents are having the abilities to communicate with each other. So if you have a project manager agent and you have a customer service agent, they may be able to interface and share information with each other. Okay, so that's the future, the near future of where this technology is going. The internal use cases for this are also very helpful. We're working with a contractor that does remodeling, and a problem that he has is the subcontractors, when they're on the job, they have to refer to sort of specs and procedures that are specific to the company. If anybody has this problem, write problem in the chat where you have like subcontractors that need to contact you to get information. The way he does it now is it's this big book that they print out for each job and for general stuff, and the subs have to go through and flip through this book to find what they're looking for. Well, the internal use case here is that the subcontractors could just call a number and talk to an AI and get the information they need right on the spot, right? This doesn't require a computer or anything like that. They just simply make a phone call at location. They can pull up the information and even pull up photos or specs or blueprints or whatever they need in real time. So we're seeing that this ability for both external and internal use is growing. The opportunities are there. All right, sales is another use case for an AI assistant or an AI agent. And just to be clear, when I use the term interchangeably, but when I think AI assistant, I'm thinking they're on your team, right? So like somebody that's answering calls, somebody that's talking to your subs, anybody that, you could think Siri, you could think Alexa, somebody that's kind of working for you. An AI agent is somebody that's not on your team. So that would be like somebody you call into, right? If you're calling into an agent, but just, they could be used interchangeably. So for sales, this is a very interesting area. Some people think like, wow, like AI is going to be able to close deals for me. I don't think that's ever going to be the case. Maybe on the follow-up side, but not like, to me, people buy from people, right? Like people buy from people, and there's got to be a person and a human connection with rapport, experiences, connect. You got to be able to relate to somebody. That's not something AI is going to replace. But if you take a person, whether you're a GC and you're doing your own estimates or you have a separate salesperson doing this, you take the time that they have available and now reduce that to about 10%, to where the 10% of their of what they're spending their time on now, that human touch part becomes their whole job, right? So that other 90% that's not human touch, not high touch, is going to be handled by an AI assistant. And that could be things like just outreach, right? So if you have an outbounder and you need to reach out to people, pre-qualify them, let them know, thank you for filling out a form on our website. We just want to get some additional information. Do you have a few minutes, kind of thing? Inbound pre-qualification. We talked about this before with you guys, where you're going to ask a series of questions. That's going to filter out your potential leads, so that you want to funnel the leads that are pre-qualified. The qualified leads go to the salesperson, where maybe the not qualified leads go somewhere else, right? They go into either maybe you're referring them to another business or doing something else with them. That's handled by the AI. Now that alone, that use case alone would free up so much time saved by the salesperson getting pre-qualified leads. Also, if you work in sales or you're doing estimates for people, you'll know that the more information you have going into the meeting, the more effective you'll be and the more efficient you'll be, right? So it's like any salesperson I talk to, they're like, yeah, I want to know everything so I can go in there, quickly build a rapport with the client, serve them, give them some options, show them value, and then reach an agreement with them. So it makes the process so much more efficient when you have what you need going into the call. The easy stuff is like meeting confirmations, right? Like if you have an assistant or a virtual assistant calling out, confirming meetings to eliminate no-shows, like that's an easy way to implement AI. Is just confirm the meeting. They get a call. Hey, just want to confirm we got, you have a call with Danny tomorrow, 11 a.m. Just want to make sure that's still good. Yeah, we're cool. All right, awesome. We'll see you then. Don't forget, ask Danny about 10% discount for veterans. I know you served our country. Again, thanks for your service. Make sure you remind him and let him know about that. Okay, cool. Have a great day. Or, hey, you have a meeting with Danny tomorrow, 11 a.m. I can't make it. You know what? I just realized I got to go take my car to the shop or something. All right. And then they can reschedule the appointment right there. Updates in your systems. Now Danny's not blocked out in his calendar for 11 a.m. waiting for a no-show who just totally forgot that they had the meeting.
That's incredible. So the thing about this is that it can be in real time, like the information, just about everything that it's being processed. I know some people might have question about that. How much in real time, and can this be integrated to any system that's already in place, or does this stand alone in its own silo, and you got to kind of customize? How does that work currently?
Yeah, so the integration piece, to be honest, is the most challenging piece from an implementation side on our side when we're implementing these things for clients. So it really depends on the system. For basic calendars, like if you think Google Calendar, Calendly, that integration we've mastered that. That works seamlessly. That's pretty pretty simple to implement. We also integrate with Go High Level. If you're using that, or in the home service space, we integrate with Service Titan as well.
HubSpot.
HubSpot, yeah.
All major platforms you pretty much are synced up with.
All major platforms you can integrate with. I mean, if you think automation, anything you use Zapier with, anything that has an API, we can integrate with. It all depends. Project management systems we're looking at now. But that is the heavy part of this. So like when we price these out and give estimates, the cost associated really depends with what system you want to implement with. If you want to do a complicated CRM that's not well known, that tends to be a little bit more costly, but it's doable.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that.
Cool. So yeah, so in the sales process, it's like post sales, the ability to remind them of benefits they received, or just give them a special thank you, And you know, just there's so many ways to do this. Again, you have to balance the high touch human side of things with AI, but it's always better to do something than nothing. So you know, that's another place to implement this. Okay. The last one I want to talk about for today is the HR office manager piece of this. Anybody have challenges with recruiting? Type recruiting in the chat.
I'm excited about this one here. Yeah.
Right? Type recruiting in the chat. This is I mean, clients that I talk to, you know, they basically have three major problems or three major things they're trying to accomplish. One is lead generation. The second one is efficiencies and profit growth, and the third one is recruiting. And I hate to put it three, because for most companies that I work with, recruiting is the number one thing, right? So the idea is now you're adding these AI assistants, and your business is booming because profitability is so much better. You're saving 10% cost in staff, and focusing on, you know, your people to do people things. And now you're going to hire more people to do people things at a 10x, you know, 10x growth. So where does that help? Well, we know that you can use ChatGPT and AI to write job descriptions and things like that. But what if you had a number that people could call, or you could set up an interview time with candidates that either you get from places like Indeed or Facebook or whoever's interested in your company, and they call on this number, and now you're doing pre-screening with AI, right? Now I'll give a little context on something that we're trialing right now, because nobody's asked this question yet. But a question we typically get is, do people, like, are they okay with talking to AI, or do they want to talk to human? Like, what's the deal? And my answer to that is, like, if you ever walk into McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts or many stores now, is they'll have the kiosks where you could, you know, do it yourself, or you can talk to somebody, a person. So there's always going to be people that prefer are okay just doing it on their own with an AI, or they actually want to talk to somebody, right? There's going to always, so you always want to give people that option in the application. We encourage that. And one of the things that we do at pre-screening candidates is to say something like, hey, you know, we're an innovation company. We're always looking to innovate to give our customers and clients an edge and lower costs for them. Would you be okay with doing an interview with an AI? And if they say no, cool, we'll transfer you to somebody. But majority of people are like, yeah, sure, we'll try it. Because think about it. Like, if you say no, then you're already not in alignment with the company. So it's like they would do that. So being able to do some pre-screening questions, which gets those no deal, you know, deal killer questions out of the way. So like, if you need somebody to drive a vehicle and they don't have a driver's license, you know, questions that you can ask, and, you know, stay within the bounds of the law and all that stuff. But again, these are things we can A/B test, see what are the good questions to ask. Now, what's cool about this is you can ask open-ended questions. So like, some of the things we do is like, hey, what kind of books, you know, do you like to read books? And, you know, what do you do for growth? Like, what do you do to learn? Right? And just give that open-ended question. And people could describe what they do. Hey, I read these books on this topic. Oh, then they could do a follow-up question. What are you reading right now? You know, that kind of thing. So keeping the questions very open-ended gives you more of the character sense that you're looking for the culture fit.
Yeah, I find that in some territories, depending in the US, right, you have different territories. Demographic might not be too tech savvy, and then there's other major territories. You have the applicants that call in anytime we introduce a technology for people to apply, do you know, mass group interviews, etc. This technology facilitates the speed for you to get more done in less time. And the way I see it is, for example, ChatGPT has evolved tremendously in the last year and a half. Just the amount it processes. Same thing with the voice. The first time I heard voice AI, about a year ago, is even the latency and the ability to speak. It's way different than what it is right now, and I feel like people are more used to engaging with an AI person. So oftentimes it's like us. I like to think of myself like a little bit more old school than most. I don't like to, I run a digital marketing agency, but at the same time, I don't like to spend a lot of time in technology just a whole day. I like to take a break. So I just like to talk to my wife, and that's my thing. And like, I like to engage with a real human, but there are times where I'm like, okay, let's get it done. It helps me facilitate, what I need to get done with large amounts of data, etc. So just to give you an idea, we literally just had two group interviews. We interviewed about 24 people between those two. If you ask me if I could have done that without technology 2 years ago, the answer would be no. Today, that's possible. And I'm thinking that we'll probably be doing 50 interviews at a time in the next 6 months by integrating some of this right here. So it's very good. It lets us filter out the people that are not as qualified, right? They didn't answer, they didn't give us, we don't like the way that they sound, etc. They don't present themselves according to our crew values and our culture, etc. We can weed a lot of that through the voice AI, and future is going to be voice and video AI, but the voice AI for now. So just wanted to
Awesome.
share that. Yeah.
Awesome. Are you using ChatGPT's voice mode, Danny?
I'm not yet. Yeah.
Awesome. How about anybody on the call? Are you using if just type voice,
Type in voice, guys.
chat. If you're using OpenAI's ChatGPT voice mode. Yeah, it's
I'm telling you, I'm a little bit more old school in this. I still like to type in, good old keyboard. But anyone else using the voice AI? What about you, Joe?
Nobody. All right, we gotta do a demo here. So somebody type in a problem that you're having in the chat in your business. What do you want to accomplish? Have it read bedtime stories. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to demo this just in case people aren't using this. But this is something I use all the time, especially when I'm driving. If anybody here's on the road, and I don't have a long commute, I drive maybe about 20 minutes in the car, going to A to B, but I'm building stuff out. I'm brainstorming ideas. It's like you're driving, you get an idea in your head, you want to kind of jot it down, explore it a little bit. I'm opening ChatGPT and talking it out with them. But let's see. Let's try this. So if you open the ChatGPT app on your phone, kind of what it looks like. In the bottom, there's a little headphones thing here. Oh yeah, thanks. There's a little thing. Can everybody see that? A little headphones thing there. You just want to press that.
Start speaking.
Hey, so I'm with my friend Danny from Contractor Click, and we're talking about recruiting. Can you give me some tips on how to use AI voice agents to assist him in the recruiting process?
Sure. Using AI voice agents in recruiting can really streamline the process. Here are some tips for Danny. First, AI voice agents can handle initial candidate screening by asking a series of qualifying questions. This helps filter out unqualified candidates early. Second, these agents can schedule interviews by checking the availability of both the candidate and the hiring manager, then setting up appointments. Third, they can provide candidates with information about the company, the role, and next steps, ensuring that candidates are well prepared for interviews. Fourth, AI voice agents can follow up with candidates post-interview to gather feedback and answer any remaining questions. Finally, They can track the progress of each candidate through the recruitment process, ensuring nothing falls through the cracks. Would you like more detailed advice on any of these points?
Right now, thanks. So you can end that, and then you have the whole chat transcription here that you can copy and paste, do what you want with it. But like from going from like the gym or karate to home is like I've built out social media content for the day, like within 10 minutes, a 10-minute voice call. Like for me, I'm a terrible typer. I can't type. I don't know anybody else like that, but I'm always with voice. Like anytime I can even use the voice typing, I'll use that. It's just so much faster for me to implement that. But the point is, this is becoming more accepted and popular, and it will as the next year, 2 years go by. Everybody's going to be using voice mode in ChatGPT, and you can see that it's going. The acceptance of being able to talk to an AI is just going to grow.
Incredible. Incredible. Type in value in the chat, team, if you found this conversation valuable here from Joe Papa. Joe, I know we're going to get bombarded with questions. What's the next step? I mean, if someone is looking to see what's possible for their business, the voice integration, I know you're working with us at Contractor Click, and I do want to make sure people connect with you because this is one of those action items that, hey, sooner or later, you're just going to have to embrace the reality, just like you need a website or your social media these days, right? You need your Facebook, your Instagram. You're going to need your voice AI. Otherwise, you're going to be behind the times. And now consumers expect, the businesses to be up to date. So don't miss out. So what would be the next steps here? And what would you tell the audience here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're doing a pilot program right now with a small group of companies. Danny and Contractor Click's one of them. Again, this technology is I mean, you talked to me 2 months ago, and you wouldn't have been able to do anything that we're doing now with these agents and assistants. It's very new. It works very well, but it also requires some testing. So we're doing a pilot program right now. We're about to open phase 2. So what I'm gonna do, and dude, I never do this on like webinars or anything, but Danny is like my brother, so I want to do this for your team. I'm just gonna put my cell phone number, if that's all right, in the chat. And this is my real cell phone number.
No AI? No AI?
No AI. You're not gonna get AI Joe like comment. Like here's my hands. If you get a text message back, then you know I'm full of crap. But I swear it is my text. If you're interested in being a part of the next phase of the pilot program, we're building these things out. Typically, right now we're charging about $5,000 for setup. I actually talked with somebody to partner with. They're doing $77,500 for setup. I'm gonna do this just because Dane's a friend of mine. I'm gonna take at least one person, no setup fee at all. So if that's something you want to talk about, it's got to be a right fit. Like we got to talk about your business and what you're doing. It's got to be a right fit. But let's have a conversation. If you're interested in that, just text me your name and your email. Send it to my phone, and we'll set up a call, and you and I will talk. Human to human, and we'll do that.
Yes.
If there's something else, if there's something else you want to talk about related to AI, we could do that too. But I'm interested in now helping out your community, Danny, and getting people on board with this, because it's the people that roll this stuff out that it's like, holy cow, like growth. We're talking like growth. Like now all of a sudden you got 90% of an employee available to do something else. And that's just phenomenal. Like think about, you don't even need the recruiter hire. You're taking your people now that are doing amazing things and reskilling them and, repurposing them to do something that's going to have a bigger impact on your bottom line and your business. So,
Yeah.
Awesome. Chris, I got your text. Thank you. Yeah, anybody else do it today? I mean, this is something we're not gonna put I don't think this is gonna be in the replay.
It took me a long time to get your cell phone, so I'm a little bit jealous here that you're just giving it out to everyone here. I've been chasing him out. Be like, hey, what's your number, brother? I'm sending him Facebook messages. We're in the same mastermind, one of the business masterminds. I'm like, hey, when do I get to connect with you? I tell you, team, if you are at all just wondering what's possible for your business, this is a customization. This is not like a cookie cutter. You log into a website and you just give it a script. Like that's probably just bare bones stuff. We're talking about deep integration of voice AI, very powerful for scale. You can have 1,000 calls happening at the same second without it breaking down. So that is it. Joe, thank you so much for your time here. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for watching our video on the Contractor AI Summit, brought to you by Contractor Click. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future updates. Your support helps us continue to bring you valuable content. See you next time.